Hello,
Howdy,
I'm Dylan,
I'm Kevin.
and this is.
Sense of direction.
What are we talking about today?
Today we're talking about your social media presence, being able to get a job, some things you should do, don't do, things to be aware of,
Yeah.
things to try to prevent. Something to keep in mind is you're being evaluated before you even walk in the door. I mean, I think we did an episode on, was it job? It was an interview episode, I think. Things to do in an interview.
I think so.
That kind of went in details, but this is more about like
A resume.
resume. It was like the resume
'Cause,
episode. This is more about kind of things to do before you even start that process. Like your resume, interview, communication, social media, all tell employers who you are. And I mean, you're also telling the world who you are with those things. And if
Yeah.
those things don't align, the person hiring you is going to notice.
Yeah. This kind of was introduced to us because a viral video came out this week of an Uber driver that picked up a young woman. It was her first day on the job, and she was fired because her managers pulled her in and wanted to talk about her social media, and they found some things that did not align with their company values. So just imagine that, like, you're showing up for your first day, you're so excited, and then bam, you're fired because they found your Instagram or your Twitter
Yeah.
or, not because you broke the law, not because you didn't do the work, not because you were late, but because your online presence showed them that you do not align with their company values.
Yeah.
Um,
It's a big part, especially in
Yeah.
2026. Like, we're in that age. We're in that technological social media age. I feel like it wasn't as common back, like in the early 2000s, but like now it's
Yeah,
so easy to find.
yeah.
You get somebody's phone number and like,
It pops up.
yeah, it pops up.
I
People you
can't
may
tell
know, or
yeah, how many like, Snapchat does that, and that really pisses me off because I'm like, I only use Snapchat to talk to, like, 5 people.
Yeah.
I don't need my work contents, like, I
Yeah.
don't need them on there. So today we're gonna talk about how to professionally present yourself, through the entire process, through the entire hiring process, which
the tongue
starts
twister.
before you even apply for a job.
Yes.
This should be, in today's age, the first thing you do. If you're like, I would like to be on the job hunt, you need to look through your social media. What does your online presence say about you? Because maybe something that you posted in middle school, high school, whatever you thought was funny, or it was a trend or something. Now you're 18, 21, 25, and someone goes back and is like, hey, did you say this back in 2015? Like,
Honestly, that's the reason why I deleted my Facebook
yeah.
and made a new one.
I
Because I
hard
had it since middle school,
Mm-hmm.
and then like I had it up until probably until I graduated, and I was like, I kept getting like, you know how it reminds you like, oh, you did, 5 years ago you said this, whatever, and it's
Yeah.
just like,
No, I
nah,
didn't.
man. I'm like, what was I thinking? Like,
Yeah. I did have to do not that I had a lot to do, but I did like scrub a whole bunch of stuff from my Facebook because
Yeah.
in middle school, me and my friends thought it was funny. We read these books called from, I believe her name is Ellen Hopkins, but and they're really good books, but like they're dark and they deal with like drug abuse and like just
Say less.
yeah, and so like one of the books was called like Crank, like that was the name of the book. So me and my friends would go on Facebook and we'd be like, we need to borrow that Crank, because we were like, nobody knows it's a book. And then it's like you look back and I'm like,
she's a drug addict.
yeah, like you're asking for drugs openly
not
on your
getting
Facebook.
That's funny.
Which is funny because like I never touched drugs until later.
Just
Yeah.
stop right there, Dylan.
I've never done drugs.
There we go. First impressions start before the interview. So you want to think about formatting your resume, email address being professional. I have a funny story about that. LinkedIn presence. We talked about it in the last episode. Grammar and spelling, application consistency, and following directions in application too. Because I mean,
Yeah.
if you fail the application process, it's probably not a good sign. You know.
Yeah. And honestly, that kind of goes back to like when you're in school, like, did you read the syllabus? Because I know a lot of people don't, but it's kind of like they hide those little nuggets that will set you up later in the semester or whatever.
Yeah.
So, if you follow all of those things, and like set yourself up in kind of a professional manner, it will help you out later. So you need to kind of ask yourself, like, does your work experience actually support the job that you want? Are you presenting transferable skills correctly? Are you applying randomly or strategically? And like, because there is definitely, I've been in periods of my life where I'm like, I just need a job.
Yeah.
Like, I need to be getting some money. And so,
starving.
yeah. That's how I ended up working at a law office. So,
You worked in a law office?
yeah. They
You
were
told me about
lawyers,
this.
yeah.
You told me about this.
Technically they were debt collectors and I had no idea
Working
because
for
it
the
was
sharks.
like, yeah.
Working
And I
for
did
the
feel bad.
sharks.
But
Another thing to keep in mind is, does your story make sense? You know, does your resume align with your online presence, and does it answer interview questions? You know, does it all tell the same story? Talked
yeah.
about consistency, you know.
And you're like, well, what does my social media have to do with like getting hired? It kind of works like this. Someone says that they are disciplined, but then they constantly post reckless behavior. Driving with their head out the window, doing donuts in parking lots, or like you
Yeah.
say that you're
Pranking people.
yeah. Or someone wants to be a corporate leadership position, and then they post some like public content that's either hostile or offensive or something. Like that's not displaying leadership qualities, because you can't just be, oh, I'm a leader in the office, but then I'm a hooligan
I'm out here
all
in
the
these
rest of the
streets.
time. So, and I think that it does paint a picture, and especially nowadays when like social media it's so easily accessible, like you said, like in the early 2000s, like no one was checking people's
Maybe
MySpaces,
dude.
like
We gotta bring that back. But yeah, they'll check mine. Just be like, what's up to this emo music? Like, what is going on here? Kid's 13 years old. But so yeah, I mean, companies are always looking for they're gonna protect their image.
yeah.
And I'm sure you've heard this, or I've been told, like, when you're in a company, I have to wear, like, obviously, like, my company shirt, and I have to be on job sites, but like you're representing the company. I've now that I think about it, to answer Calvin's question earlier, I did have a coworker that got fired because he was being stupid on a job site, and like it just reflected poorly, and he just got canned. So yeah, like, businesses are going to protect your reputation, which is why they're looking into you. And you should also look into them, see if
Right.
you'll fit in the company culture. It's like if you're going to be a daycare, what are they called? Daycare teacher? But like deep down inside you hate kids. Like, no,
it's never
that ain't gonna work out. Like, but anyways.
Yeah, I feel like I heard that a lot growing up. Was like if I was out somewhere, like my parents were like, you are the representation of our family, so like you need to like be respectable and like don't be acting out. And that's the same thing for companies. Like they don't want to be associated with someone that does something that does not align with them. And honestly, it works kind of both ways too. Like you're not gonna go work for Lockheed Martin if you're really anti-war and like really want world peace or something, like just won't align unless you really get sucked into that blood money.
Guess so.
The point is that social media is an extension of you, whether you like it or not. you have to understand that your visibility has consequences. So, just because you have a public account or maybe you have a Finsta or something that's private, like those private accounts aren't gonna like always private. Anyone can find them.
Yeah.
You have a digital footprint. Like it's there. It's like a paper trail, an online paper trail of everything that you've done online. So you need to think about like, have you had a post that maybe aged badly? Like maybe you hopped on a trend or like a meme that was really blown up, and then now that you look back, you're like, oh, that was actually like super fucked up, um, and then know about like tweets and screenshots never disappearing. So you don't know who's been
Yeah.
on your Twitter. You don't know who's been on your Instagram. And
Yeah.
then something that people forget about
What?
is your tags. Things that
Tags?
people tag you in, like
Oh,
or
yeah.
comment, like, hey,
Yeah.
like blah blah blah.
Yeah.
Anyone can see that nowadays. Like it's so almost transparent. I won't say it's 100% transparent, but for the most part, like it's pretty easy to see someone's like
There's
likes, mentions, things
there's
like
there's a
that.
meme where it's like when the group chat gets leaked and it's just like a montage of like people getting arrested and it's just
Yeah,
like we all know.
yeah. Cause
We all know what's going
you
down.
think you're with your friends and you get to say weird shit and like you guys know that you're joking, but someone
Oh, we've
five
had
thousand miles away who just sees a screenshot, they're like, oh my god, they're horrible.
well, getting too off topic, there has been group chats leaked that has led to like officials being fired and stuff, or like I think the latest one I remember was like a school district, some school district, what is like the school board, like they were saying some
Mm,
pretty racist like shit, and then they
yeah.
got so in that case like good for them digging that
Yeah.
up.
Well, I think it goes back to like accountability.
Yeah,
Like, those school board members should be held accountable
yeah,
for their whatever they want to call whatever the fuckery that they did.
we're just old
Um,
fashioned.
yeah, because they are in a high position,
Yeah,
like they're in charge of a lot of students and people. Like, almost you can kind of say like they're in charge of a community at that point. Like,
yeah.
should these community officials like be able to just shoot the shit and be crazy online?
So
No.
with that being said, all we're saying is just audit your digital reputation. You can even ask a parent, a mentor, coach, sibling. I don't know about a teacher. No, you can ask a teacher. I feel like a teacher would
Yeah.
probably give you honest advice.
Yeah.
Or
Just someone older than you,
just let
someone
them,
that's like outside of your
yeah,
generation.
just let them look at your profile and be like, "What you think?"
Yeah.
Ask them, what impressions do you get from my page? Would you hire me? What posts raise concerns? And do I look mature, responsible, employable? Lucky for me, I don't really post a lot of pictures of myself.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. You can archive old posts. Just obviously, you should remove any offensive jokes, slurs. We get it. Everyone was in middle school at one point, but like you're doing that in middle school because you think that that would
yeah,
give you some sort of cool points or whatever. It doesn't. You're a bad person. Like if you continue with that way of thinking. And then just obviously avoid posting illegal, reckless behavior. Like there isn't there like a big case right now that's going on about they're using a girl's TikTok because she like have you seen that? There's like
hmm,
a documentary of a girl, she like was driving, she killed her friends or something, like in a high speed, like they were speeding or
oh yeah,
something.
yeah, yeah, the
And then they
crash.
were like, was this
Yeah,
premeditated?
yeah,
Because she
yeah,
went
yeah, yeah,
somewhere and
yeah. I know exactly
so,
what you're talking about. Yes,
but like she had a bunch of TikToks and like, guys,
it goes back to situational awareness. I mean, come on, like
yeah,
it's has to be taught, I guess. Like to watch. I feel like it's such a like. I was always told to watch what you say, like, and
yeah.
watch how you act. Like, these are elementary concepts, but I mean, I guess we gotta teach the
Well, yeah, I
kiddos.
think it's also harder now because like my sister, she's pretty active on TikTok. But like that's just like a thing that her and her friends do. Like they're
Yeah,
about to like go out or something, like go to the club or whatever. Like they're gonna make a TikTok of them getting ready or them dancing or like there's a whole
yeah,
bunch of like that's just like ingrained in them. Whereas like I'm not recording a video. um, but I think that's also because like I have to do other video work, so like
Yeah.
I'm not gonna spend time on that.
So a little bit more about, let's say you audited all your stuff, you got an interview, you made it past the first check mark. Um, so you got to think about the interview. The interview is going to be more than answers. Like these interviewers are going to be kind of testing your personality with these questions, and things they're going to be looking for is eye contact, confidence, listening, and just how prepared you are
Yeah.
in the moment. You
Are
know.
you asking questions? Do you know about the company beforehand? Like, what's your body language like? How do you communicate under pressure? And like all of these things are also kind of tied to like your how you present yourself online
Yeah.
too, because
Yeah.
you know, like maybe your online presence is like super confident or whatever, but then you're in the interview and you're like very shy, timid, like
Yeah.
afraid to ask questions, you know. It's
Yeah.
kind of like they want transparency
I feel like
in a
they want
sense.
authenticity.
Authenticity. Yeah.
Authenticity. Damn,
Yeah,
dude, I
that's
can't
a good word.
talk today. And some things to think about after you get hired, obviously, is keeping professionalism. Your reputation at work, your reliability. We've been talking about online behavior. Obviously, once you've been hired, like group chats and workplace drama.
Yeah.
Just being known as dependable and consistent. Like
Yeah.
that's what keeps you. Because like, let's say you're not going to stay at your job forever. I mean, if you do, good for you. But like, you want to have a good reputation everywhere you go. You
Yeah.
know, that's
Yeah.
something to think about.
And then I also think with like the group chats, because I think a lot of what's it called, like Slap or something, like a lot of people
Slap?
or Slack.
Slack.
They're like it's like a internal like any company or whatever, like it's like their group chat, like it's
Okay.
like a work group chat or whatever.
Okay.
That also kind of goes into like professionalism.
Yeah.
So kind of like knowing how to read the room. And then just keep in mind that your entire life can be documented online forever. Um, your digital footprint lasts a long time. But this is kind of like twofold, it's good and bad. There's always two sides of the coin. It means that your opportunities can grow faster than ever because you have more like reach with social media. You can like show your work portfolio, you can show like your community service, you can show what kind of person you are. But
Yeah.
also you're highlighting your mistakes as well. Like it's your platform. It's kind of like the stage
Yeah.
of who you are. So the good news is though, is that professionalism is a skill and it can be learned, improved, and controlled. You can go back and have someone older than you, preferably like outside of your generation, read through your online presence and
Mhm.
kind of get a read of what they get from that, and
You know what's funny? Now that I'm thinking about it, I had a yearly review, and it's whenever I got my promotion. But my boss literally sat me down and like told me, he was like, he basically said like we can look up like your online presence, like, and we got into it like a while ago, and he was like the only thing I'm concerned about with you, Kevin, is sometimes you don't know how to like just simmer down in a sense because we like kind of
Mm.
butted heads. But he was just like, that's my only concern with you is like I want you to, when you go out to job sites, like not be an asshole. Basically, is what he was telling me. I was like, I heard you,
Captain.
heard you loud and clear. Um, and I think another thing that happened, it wasn't at this job, but when I used to work in lawn care, like we would use a lot of chemicals, and one of the main chemicals we'd use was dye, like just dye. And I don't know, I think we had these big ass like containers of water, like I'm talking like massive, like 3 stories tall, and it flooded the shop. And so we had dye like all over the floor, and so we were having to scrub it like out. So it looked like we were just like scrubbing chemical out into like the street, which is like it's okay. We knew we weren't doing anything wrong, but one of my
Yeah.
coworkers recorded it and put it on TikTok, and like literally less than like it was up for a day. Like our boss like found out because one of his like friends in another state like saw and was like, hey, like
Whoa.
you might want to tell your people to take this down, and then we had like a
Yeah.
big ass meeting about it. But that was like
Yeah.
4 years ago. So like
Yeah,
just
that's
a
a
little,
prime example.
yeah.
And also, you never know, like, what will catch fire when. Like, he
No.
probably was like, I have, what, a couple hundred people that are
Yeah.
my friends on TikTok, and then states
Next thing you
away.
know,
Yeah.
you gotta put the hazmat suits on.
So just be vigilant, be aware, and then, like, don't take anything like super personal. Like, this isn't an attack on like you as a person. It's just more of like kind of being mindful and respectful of like,
Yeah.
your who you are associated with in a sense.
Yep.
So hope you learned.
Adios, kiddos.